Breaking news. Goodluck Jonathan 2027 ambition already hitting the rocks. The presidency says they are ready to drag him to court over eligibility, but wait, why panic over a man who has not even declared
his ambition to run for president in 2027? The PDP has offered him the party's ticket on a platter, but he doesn't seem to want to take that ticket. He feels the PDP cannot take him to Aso Rock in 2027. The PDP is plagued by a wave of defections from their party, and these defections might continue into 2027. It is currently rumored that the governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba, has concluded plans to decamp to APC. Also, the likes of Wike, who is a minister under the APC administration, continues to retain his membership of PDP. Someone like Wike can throw spanner in the works to disrupt Goodluck Jonathan's ambition in PDP. So Goodluck Jonathan understands all these. That's why he visited the interim chairman of ADC, David Mark. Obviously, they discussed politics. And while all these were going on, the APC and the presidency pretended not to know anything, like they weren't aware of Goodluck Jonathan scheming to come back in 2027. Now all gloves are off. They have replied Goodluck Jonathan in a statement released by Bayo Onanuga, who is the media aide to Tinubu. He said that Goodluck Jonathan has a right to run, but the courts will determine his eligibility, having taken oath of office 2 times. People who want Goodluck Jonathan to contest again because they feel he has only 1 term to run, so it wouldn't be a problem. Something like wanting to contest again, going for 2nd term wouldn't arise with a candidate like Goodluck Jonathan. That's why most of them are pushing for him, so that power can quickly return back to the north. These types don't want to hear any argument against Goodluck Jonathan. They always have something to say. The law says that anyone that has taken oath of office 2 times is no longer eligible to take that oath again, whether as a president, governor, local government chairman, any executive office. They will tell you that he took an oath of office but he didn't complete the term. That's not what the law says. The law says that anyone that has taken oath of office 2 times is not eligible to contest for that office again. He is not allowed by law to take the oath of office 3 times. There is nowhere the law mentions the fact that after taking the oath of office, the person must complete the full term in order to be exonerated by the law. It doesn't exist. Yes, the fact that he took an oath of office already counts 1, even if he spent only 30 days after taking the oath as a president. Goodluck Jonathan also has taken another oath when he won the election in 2011, which makes it 2 times. So the law will prevent him from taking that oath the 3rd time. This is very simple to understand. But like you already know, the reason people are pushing Goodluck Jonathan is simply because they feel he's bound by law to spend only 1 term in office. There wouldn't be anything like, the president wants to recontest if he wins. So definitely power will be moving back to the north after 4 years if Goodluck Jonathan succeeds. That's the reason they are pushing him. And Goodluck Jonathan being in power will also empower all these people pushing for him. Yes, just like Goodluck Jonathan empowered all the people that were around him when he was in power. It's as simple as that. These people are not aggrieved that Nigerians are hungry. No, they are simply sad that they are not the ones in power. In other words, they are criticizing Tinubu and APC not because of the corruption and everything going on. The reason they are criticizing him is because they are not the ones conducting the affairs of this country, whether in a progressive manner or in a retrogressive manner. They don't just care, they just want to be in power. And as you can see, the APC or the presidency or Tinubu taunting Goodluck Jonathan or threatening him with court cases, you already know where it is going. If any party makes the mistake of fielding Goodluck Jonathan, that party will not have a candidate in 2027. It's as simple as that. And that court judgment will be delivered in the late hour, making it impossible for the party to replace Goodluck Jonathan. Yes, this is very simple to see, but people with agendas and selfish interests to protect, they will continue pushing. And eventually one political party will fall for it, and ultimately they will not have a candidate in 2027. That party, if it's going to be PDP or ADC, they will eventually do what? They will align with APC. Yes, because all these party members you see, they are just there for themselves. They will now have the opportunity to justify aligning with APC. They will say, how can we go into the election without a candidate? Instead of that, let's just support any person so that we'll have something at the end of the day. To them, it's about what they can benefit from the system. It's never about principles or standing your ground that something must be done right, that Nigerians must be lifted out of poverty, that many things should happen instead of the retrogressive manner APC has been running Nigeria the past 10 years. Bayo Onanuga also drew the attention of Nigerians on how Goodluck Jonathan's administration enabled corruption when he was in power. He said a lot of things, but the main question is, why is the presidency saying this now? They could have simply allowed one party to make the mistake, and they will simply use the judiciary that is already in their pockets to make sure that candidate will not participate in 2027 elections. Yes, this is very simple. Why should someone correct his enemy when he's obviously making a mistake? The mistake is at your advantage, so why correct your enemy? Allow him to make that mistake so that you can sail through. It does not make any sense that they are threatening him not to even consider running. It's like telling him openly, if you like, pick any party's ticket, we are waiting for you. At the right time, a court will declare you ineligible to contest. The court will disqualify you. Why make that mistake? Why not allow him to pick any ticket and he will learn the lessons by himself? You see, trying to analyze what is going on, it seems that some northerners are trying to pressurize ATIKU Abubakar not to run in 2027. They've looked at everything. They've seen that ATIKU has no pathway, just like Tinubu has no pathway to win in 2027. This is obviously why they are pushing Goodluck Jonathan to run. If he runs and wins, power will definitely return to the north in 2031. But the problem is, ATIKU Abubakar will be 85 years old in 2031. By now, he's supposed to be retired instead of continuing to play politics. So consider in 6 years' time how much older he will be, how much weaker. Also, it seems that ATIKU Abubakar can see all this. That's why he's yet to officially decamp to ADC. Yes, he resigned from PDP, but since then, he's yet to officially decamp to ADC, despite holding meetings with ADC officials. So you can see what is at play here. He too might be using the fact that he's yet to officially decamp to ADC as a leverage to negotiate whatever position he wants. Obviously, he wants the ticket to run. So like already analyzed before, the people that would decide all these are the CPC guys. There's no doubt that some of them are with Tinubu, but the ones that are with ADC are the ones that are very, very influential. The likes of El-Rufai and Issa Pantami and many others. Most of these guys, the very influential ones, are with ADC, and they will be the kingmakers, so to speak, in 2027. Yes, these guys are used to winning. They breathe and eat politics. They understand what is at play. They understand that if they field the wrong candidate, there's no way they are going to win the election in 2027. Also, considering what is at stake, many of them wouldn't like to lose. Many would prefer to stay with Tinubu even if he loses. It's better to stay with an incumbent that has a likelihood of winning than to stay with someone or support the wrong candidate who wouldn't win the election at the end of the day. So here's hoping that politicians would at the end of the day make the right decision, that it wouldn't be about money for them. Most of ATIKU Abubakar's associates and supporters will never tell him to his face, hey, this is not the time to run. Rather, support another candidate, because they all know there is that sentiment already in the South, that the North wants to dominate the South. They always come up with laughable excuses, trying to measure how long Southerners have been in power since the Fourth Republic, as if Nigeria started in 1999. How about all those years Northerners dominated when we were under the military? No one is talking about it today because they want to support their candidate. So the job of telling ATIKU Abubakar lies with the CPC guys. Yes, they are the ones that will tell him, no, we are not backing you. We have to back a Southern candidate so that we'll have the chance of winning Tinubu, who is also from the South. This is because APC guys are already spreading the narrative that it is the return of the South, but Northerners are so greedy. They want power back, despite the fact that Buhari spent 8 years in power. So these kind of narratives, when people hear it in the South, that sense of injustice, that sense of equity and fairness, they will quickly forget about everything, all the suffering, everything the calamity has brought on Nigerians. They will simply forget about it and follow him. Yes, that's the reality. So let's hope that politicians, for once...
The law is clear. Jonathan already served. First, finishing Yaradua's tenure and his own tenure. That makes him eligibility. And the presidency knows this. But instead of waiting, they are rushing to flex power, threatening court action. Why? Fear, insecurity, desperation. Here is the truth. Jonathan love. Here is the truth. Whether you love Jonathan or hate him, he is still political symbol. Nigeria remember him as a man who peacefully conceded power in 2015. But the memory terrifies the ruling elite. Because Jonathan enters the race, it will shake the alliance and shift loyalties and completely rewrite 2027 script. So what do they do? Attack early, immediate shut down, or shut the door before he even knocks? The bigger picture, but Nigeria must not be fooled in 2027. Should not be about blocking individuals out of fear. It should be about who can rescue this country from economic collapse, insecurity and corruption. Dragging Jonathan to court, that is not something we should discuss or something that should bring distraction. This is not about Jonathan, it is about power and the fact they are ready to scare. I will tell you one thing, 2027 is not as business as usual, mark my word.